Hello everyone, my name is Edu and this is Ready Go Expat. In today's video, I've asked some expats who live here in China the question, what did you learn while living abroad? So not only living here in China, because a lot of these expats have lived in different countries, so what have they learned in each of the countries that they've lived in? What kind of traditions and customs do they bring to their own life today? And how have they changed perhaps their views, their perspectives towards certain topics? So if you want to know these answers, make sure to watch the video until the end. And if you like videos about life in different countries, interviews with expats, and world cuisine, please subscribe to the channel. Ready? Go!
I learned to be more flexible. I've learned to actually understand other people's perspectives and points of view. Aside from learning languages and cultural aspects and history, and actually knowing the history behind why people act the way they do, I think I also learned basically different ways of living, and different perspectives. I also learned a lot about values, like their cultural values, either in England, either in South America, in Argentina when I lived there, from Brazil, within Brazil as well, like living in different cities. I also got that experience, and I think what I learned the most was just basically being able to absorb different aspects from those cultures and bringing into my life wherever I go. So like I'm living in China, but I still have my English tea, and I love having media lunas, which is Argentinian. So I think I absorbed a little bit of here and there, and I take with myself.
Learned a lot of things, and first of all, the first thing I learned here is I can live independently.
I keep learning, every time you leave your country, you learn new things. Every time you reach a new place, you learn new habits, new food, you get a better person as you grow up, because you meet more cultures, you grow up. So that's basically, it's a growing up process more than a learning process.
How to be outside my comfort zone. I know it might be kind of cliched, but it is. I've been, usually most of my life, I've been very introverted, but being in China, being in the UK, things like that, has helped me break out my shell. For one, might be cliche, but also biggest thing that I've learned is just how humanity is just, I mean, I know it might sound cliche again, but how we are all brothers and sisters, it's how much you appreciate other people, how much you appreciate other cultures, how similar we are in some ways, even though we might be differently in many others, but how much you get to love humanity, most of it, and how the world is a good place. Generally, when it comes down to people, interactions, personal relationships, how we are good people everywhere, and I love that.
Well, China is my first foreign country, and though I always seen myself as a kind of a traveling wanderlust gypsy musician. Yeah, I hitchhiked all over my native country back in the days as a student. And maybe this wanderlust actually brought me somewhere and gave me the strength to go abroad completely unaware of what's going to happen. Because when I came to China to settle down, so to speak, I didn't know where I was going to live. I didn't have any perspectives of employment here. So I came here as a couch surfer, and I found a guy on couch surfing. I stayed at his place for a couple of days, and he later helped me to rent an apartment. And that was a very deep dive into Chinese culture, because it was a shared apartment with a Chinese girl. Yeah, we shared a two-bedroom apartment together. That was a very unique experience, as I found later, because many foreigners that I talked to, and I told them my story about living with this Chinese girl, they said that it was an unprecedented case when a Chinese local would let someone share the apartment together. But I learned so much about the inside of of this routine of local life, because we used to cook together, we used to go shopping together, we used to go for a walk together. It was very fascinating, and I learned a lot of cultural points and language points while doing that.
Being flexible, because when you live abroad, everything that can go haywire probably will. Your flight will get canceled, you'll get delayed on a train, you're gonna lose something, like just things are different from what you expect in your home country to the way that cultures work in the countries that you live in. And the more flexible and accepting you can be of change in general, the better it's gonna be for you.
If you live in a different country, especially on a different continent, you should adapt to that place. That country, city, village, whatever, those people will not adapt to you or your culture. You need to adapt to their culture. As soon as you overpass those cultural differences, everything is going to be sunshine, rainbows, sparkles, and so on.
Sweden is different from Mexico. Mexico is different from China. So what did I learn in Sweden? That people, basically, they live in a very good society. That's one is very important. So they know how to behave, they do respect the rules, they're very quiet people and polite. So I came back to Italy and I was like, oh my God, we should behave in a different way. And then I moved to Mexico. That is completely different country, where the price of the life, it's not that valuable. Basically, you can die in a few seconds. Basically, you can be erupted in a few seconds. And in that moment, I understood how much is important to live in a safe country. Of course, it's not in all Mexico, in the whole Mexico, but you can find more frequently this kind of situation. So I learned that to live in a country that is safe can give you an opportunity of feeling the importance of freedom. So this one is the experience. Then I moved to China. I learned also that here in China, everything is working very well, especially the public part, public transportation and the bus and the train. So what did I learn is that if the society is working in an efficient way, actually we can do much more and our life is less stressful.
Well, I learned that my country is a lot better than I thought when I was there. And bigger and more important than I thought. I could see the influence we have over South American countries as a reference there, and I didn't have this perception while I was living there. And in Russia, for example, they watched many Brazilian soap operas, so they know a lot about our culture too. So I think this is cool. I didn't know that we were so welcome in other countries. Our culture is well known, and yes, I feel that we are bigger than I thought we were when I was there.
I guess I learned how to communicate cross-culturally, which was more of an exercise in listening and sort of staying calm in moments when you don't know what to make of things. The use of eye contact, speech patterns, when someone speaks, when they don't speak, a range of meaning that words and that body language and language can have, and how to not kind of freak out when there's something you don't understand is something that I think I learned and that I continue to practice here. What's up?